My name is Jaimin Patel and my student ID is 100953817. So my last three digits are 817 and countries associated with those numbers are South Africa, Brazil and Sri Lanka respectively. First I'm going to talk about the Sri Lanka, then next Brazil and lastly South Africa. Uh, Now I'm going to start the sub video 1A, and in this video I'm going to talk about two significant whistleblowing laws in Sri Lanka. The first one is the commission to investigate the allegation of bribery or the Corruption Act, which is called CIABOC, which is implemented in 1994. This law applies to the public sector, targeting governance official and the employees. And the context of this law is that CIABOC was established to investigate the allegation of the bribery and corruption in Sri Lanka. The act empowers the commission to conduct the investigation, prosecute the offenders, and take preventive measures against the corruption. It provides the protection to the whistleblowing by keeping their identity confidential during investigation and legal proceeding. And the enforcement of this law is that the commission itself is responsible for enforcement. It operates independently and report directly to the parliament, ensuring a level of autonomy that is crucial for impartial investigation. And now I'm going to talk about the effectiveness of these laws is that while the CIABOC has been instrumental in addressing corruption, challenging such as political interferences and limited resources have impacted its overall effectiveness. However, it remains a cornerstone in Sri Lanka's anti-corruption framework. The second law is that Right to Information Act, which is called RTI in Sri Lanka, which is implemented in 2016. This law is the RTI Act covers both the public and private sectors, allowing citizens to request information from government bodies and certain private entities. So the RTI Act provides the citizen the rights to access information held by public authorities, promoting transparency and accountability. It included provisions for protecting the whistleblowers who disclose information in good faith, ensuring that they do not factor retaliation or discrimination. Now I'm going to talk about the information enforcement of the RTI. So the RTI Commission oversees the implementation and information enforcement of this act. So the commission can investigate complaints, order disclosure, and penalize non-compliance. And the effectiveness of this law is that the RTI Act uh, has been a significant step towards the transparency in Sri Lanka, while it has been praised for its potential to curb corruption. Its effectiveness is sometimes hampered by the bureaucratic hurdles and a lack of awareness among the public about the right under the act. So these two laws reflect the Sri Lanka's efforts to create a safer environment for whistleblower, thereby strengthening the fight against the corruption and promoting good governance. Now I'm going to start the sub video 2A, which is I'm going to talk about the major whistleblowing incident in Sri Lanka. So one of the significant whistleblowing incidents is in Sri Lanka the cent involved the central bank blood scandal that took place in 2015. The issue revolved around the allegation of irregularities in the issuance of tre- in the insurance of the treasury bonds by Central Bank of Sri Lanka. So the issue So what is the issue is that the scandal came to the light when it was revealed that the central bank has illegally uh, al- illegally manipulated the auction process for treasury bonds, resulting in a primary dealer per, perpetual treasuries making substantial gains at the expense of the employees' provident fund and other state funds. So this manipulation led to the significant financial losses for the government and raised the serious concern about the transparency and integrity within the central bank. So how whistleblowers are treated in this incident is that the whistleblower who were mainly employees within the financial and government sectors faced a challenging environment. Although specific individuals named specific all the specific individuals' names are not always publicly disclosed. Whistleblowers in such cases often experience the treats intimidation and retaliation. So the central banks move to introduce a whistleblowing policy, and a code of conduct for its employees was partly in response to the need to protect individuals who came forward with information about such misconduct. Now I'm going to address the unethic activity in this incident. The President Commission of Inquiries was established to investigate the allegations. So the commission's findings led to the legal action, including the civil recovery actions to reclaim the unlawful gains and criminal proceeding against those involved. So the central bank also implement several measures to ensure the transparency and the accountability, such as updating internal controls, improving the auction system for government securities, and strengthening the legal framework under which it operates. So this incident underscored the importance of the robust whistleblowing protection and the need for continuous improvement in governance to protect and address the corruption effectively. Now I'm going to start the sub video 3A, and in this video I'm going to address business and political leaders in Sri Lanka. So I'm going to give. So there are some leaders in Sri Lanka. The first one is Perera, which is one of the Sri Lanka's most successful businessmen with diverse investigation in tourism, manufacturing, and finance. Second one is the Harry Jayawardene, which is the chairman of the Staces Group and Distilleries is company of Sri Lanka with significant contribution to the tea and alcohol industry. The third one is the Kisu Gomez, who is the CEO of the Chevron Lubricants Lanka, known for his leadership in the energy sector. And the last one is the Ashraf Omar, which is CEO of the Brandix, one of the Sri Lanka's largest apparel exports. But all of them are good leaders and politicians in Sri Lanka. But I am going to talk about the Damika Piera. Uh, Pereira is one of the Sri Lanka's most prominent and influential business leader, known for his entrepreneurial spirit and strategy investment. Pereira made a significant impact on Sri Lankan economy. Now I am going to talk about his characteristic like vision, integrity, how he set a good example, clear goals, encourage others. So first one is the vision. So Damaika Piera is recognized for his visionary approach to business. His vision is to transform Sri Lanka into a global economy hub throughout strategy throughout the strategic investment in key sector such as tourism, manufacturing, and finance. He also aimed to create job opportunity and improve the standard of living for Sri Lanka. The second characteristic is the integrity. Uh, Pereira is known for his commitment to the ethical business practice. He has maintained a reputation for integrity in all his business dealing, ensuring transparency and accountability in his various enterprise. Uh, the third one is how he set a good example as a leader. Piera sets a good example for others through his disciplinary lifestyles and work ethics. Despite his immense wealth, he lives a relatively modest life, focusing on continuous learning and personal development. Third one is how he clear goals. Pierre's goals are clear and well defined. He focused on expanding his business empire while contributing to the development of Sri Lanka. He uh, he also strategy acquisition and investment reflect his long-term visions for economic growth and stability. And next one is the encourage other how encourage others. PRI is known for encouragement and mentoring young entrepreneurs. He often share his knowledge and experience, inspiring others to pursue the entrepreneurial dream. Next one is the demand accountability and responsibility. In his various leadership roles, Pierre demands high level of accountability and responsibility from his team. He believes in empowering his employees while holding them accountable for their performance. Next one is how he challenges authorities while respecting the regulatory framework. PRI is not of afraid to challenge conventional business practice and authorities when necessary. He advocates for reform that can drive economic growth and im- improve business environment. Next one is he provides ethical guidance to the followers. Piera emphasized the importance of ethical behavior in business, so he provides the ethical guidance to his followers, ensuring that his businesses operates with integrity and respect for all stakeholders. Next one is the internal locus of control. So Piera demonstrate a strong internal locus of control, believing that he can save his destiny through hard work and strategy decision making. So this mindset has been a driven force behind his success. And the last one is the Machiavellian. Although the strategy and sometimes seen as a Machiavellian leader, Piera's actions are usually aimed at achieving the greater good for his business and the country's economy. He balanced pragmatic decision making with ethical consideration. So now I'm going to talk about the example of the leadership. The first example is the strategic investment, second is mentorship, and third one is the economic contribution. So, how PRI successfully turned around several underperforming companies by making strategy investment and implementing effectiveness management practice. Second, he has been involved in various mentorship programs guiding young entrepreneurs to build business successfully. And third is economic contribution. His investment in diverse sectors have created thousands of jobs and contribution significantly to the GDP of Sri Lanka. Now I'm going to start sub video 1B, which is related to the country Brazil, and I'm going to talk about two major whistleblowing laws in Brazil. The first one is the Clean Company Act, which is implemented in 2013, which covers the government's commercial sector and public parliament. So this law aimed to combat corruption in Brazil, specifically addressing bribery and fraud within the public procurement processes. It also hold companies accountability for corrupt practice and imposing several penalty for violation. Companies are required to implement internal compliances programs, and there are incentive the for those that proactively report a misconduct. So the enforcement of this law is that the office of the so the information of this law is that the office of the comptroller general and other regulatory agencies are responsible for enforcement. The law included provisions for whistleblower protection and encourage individual to report corruptions by offering anonymity and protection from retaliation. And the effectiveness of this law is that the Clean Company Act is seen as a significant step in Brazil's fight against corruption. It has led to increased transparency and accountability in both the public and private sectors. Through its effectiveness, can sometimes be hindered by bureaucratic challenges. And the second law is the anti-crime law, and it was implemented in 2019. So it covers the public corruption, government organization, fraud, criminal activity, and administrative misconduct. So this law broaden the scope. This law is broaden the scope of the whistleblower protection in Brazil, providing monetary rewards like 5% of the recovery funds for reporting corruption. It includes confidential clauses and protection against the retaliation, as well as the immunity from civil and the criminal liability for whistleblower. So this law also enhances the penalty for those found guilty of corruption. So the enforcement of this law is that it informed by the federal police, the public ministry, and other regulatory bodies. So the law also include the provisions for witness protection to safeguard the whistleblower. And the effectiveness of this law is that the anti-crime law is seen as a robust framework to combat corruption. Its introduction of financial incentives has encouraged more people to come forward with information. However, the law's success largely depends on consistent and imperial enforcement by authority. Now I am going to start the video 2B, which is related to which is I am addressing the major whistleblower incident in the Brazil. So the incident involved the Petrobras scandals, commonly known as the Operation Car Wash. So Operation Car Wash. So the what is the issue of this incident? So the issue related to the this incident is that this investigation undercover a massive corruption scheme involving the controlled oil companies, Petrobras, where top executive accepted the bribes in return for awarding contract to the construction firm at inflated price. So the scandal implemented the numerous high-profile politicians and the business leaders. So how the whistleblowers are treated in these incidents is that the whistleblower in this case, including the former executives and the employees of the Petrobras, are and involved companies receiving the mixed treatment. Some were offered a police deal and reduced the sentences in exchanging for their cooperation and the testimonies, while others faced significant public and professional backlash. So the investigation led to the numerous arrests and convictions, including the former president Luis Luis Inacio Lula da Silva. So the scandal had far-reaching impact on Brazil political landscape, contributing to the widespread public disillusionment with the political elite and leading to the significant political and economic reform. So the remediation of this incident is that the Petrobras implemented a comprehensive integral reforms, including the stricter compliances and anti-corruption measures. So the Brazilian governments also passed a new legislation to improve transparency and accountability in both the public and private sectors. Uh, Sorry. Now I am going to start the video 3B, which is addressing the business and political leaders from Brazil. The first one is Jorge Paulo Lemann. He'll, Lemann is the richest man in Brazil, primarily due to his stake in Bucci InBev, the world's largest brewers through his private equity firm, three 3G Capitals. Second one is the Joseph Safra. Safra was the owner of Banco Safra, Brazil's eighth largest bank and a major player in the financial sector. Third one is the Marcel Herman Taylor's. Taylor's a partner in 3G Capital with Lehman also has a significant stake in Bruches in restaurant. And there are many more leaders in Brazil, but I'm not going to talk about those all leaders based on the prominent and influences in both business and politics. uh, Joe, I'm just going to talk about the George Paul Lehman would be an excellent choice for a detailed profile, so I'm going to talk about him. So now I'm going to address his characteristic like vision, integrity, how he set a good example, clear goals, and encourage other. So Lehman is known for his strategic vision in transforming the global business. His acquisition and the integrity of companies like and Hesher Brooks Bev and Restaurant Brand International demonstrate his ability to see and create value on a global scale. And the integrity is I mean sorry so the integrity, how Lehman is often regarded as a modern of integrity in business. His consistently track and record of success and ethical business practice have earned him a reputation as a trustworthy leader. So he sets a strong example for aspiring the entrepreneurs through his dedication, work ethics, and commitment to the excellence. His success stories are often used as a case studies in business schools worldwide. Lehman's goals are always clear and ambitious. He aimed for market leaderships and long-term sustainability in all his venture. Uh, his strategy his strategy acquisitions and focus on effectiveness and innovations are testaments to his goal oriented approach. And how he encourages others is Lehman is known for empowering his team and fostering a culture of ownership. So by giving his partner and employees significant stake in the company, he ensures that they are motivated to work towards the company's success. So now I'm going to talk about the demands accountability and responsibility. So he demands high level of accountability and responsibility from his team. So the success of 3Z Capital's investigation can be attributed to the rigorous performance metrics and accountability structure Lehman enforces. So now I'm going to talk about challenges authority, how he challenges authority while he respect the regulatory frameworks. Lemon is not afraid to challenge the status quo in business practice. His innovative approach and bold decision often set new industry standards. Now I'm going to talk about the ethical guidance, how he provide ethical guidance to the followers. Lehman's leadership is underscored by a strong ethical foundation. So he advocates for transparency, ethical practice, and corporate responsibility, guiding his follower to uphold these values. Uh, Now, Lehman exhibits a strong internal locus of control, believing that he can save his destiny throughout the hard work and strategies planning. This mindset has been driving forces behind his entrepreneurial success. Now I'm addressing Machiavellians. While Lehman is strategic and shrewd in his business dealing, he is not considered a Machiavellian in a negative sense. His actions are calculated and aimed at long-term success rather than short-term gains. And I am going to talk. I have two example of his visionary leadership and empowerment. His role is in the merger of Anheuser-Busch with EEB company, created the world's largest brewers, showcase his visionary leadership and ability to execute the complex deals. And the second one is at 3G Capital. Lehman promotes a culture where employees are given significant ownership and responsibility, driving motivation and accountability. Now I am going to start the sub video 1C, which is I'm going to talk about the major whistleblowing laws in South Africa. So the first one is the Protected Disclosure Act, which is called PDA, which is implemented in 2001, and it covers applies I mean it applies to both public and private sectors. So the PDA, also known as the Whistleblowing Act, aim to protect employees who disclose the information about the illegal or unethical practice in their organization. It covers the various sector, including government, commercial, and healthcare. So the context of this law is, the first one is the protect the employees from uh, occupational detriment, for example dismissal, suspension, and harassment if they make protected disclosure. Second is defined. It defines what contributes protected disclosure, including information about improprieties and the appropriate channels for reporting. Third one is it nullifies confidentially clauses in employment contract that conflict with whistleblowing protection. Next one is it provides avenues for whistleblowing to report to legal advisor, employees, public protector, and the auditor general, ministers, or other specific entities. And the last one is it offers remedies such as financial compensations and job transfer for affected whistleblowers. And the enforcement of this law is that it informed through labor court and commission for conciliation, mediation, and arbitration. Whistleblowers can seek relief through this channel if subjected to occupational detriment. And the effectiveness of this law is that the PDA has been a critical tool for whistleblowers. Through its effectiveness, is sometimes limited by the practical challenges in enforcement and the protection of the whistleblower from the retaliation. And the second law is the Relations Act, which is called LRA, of which is implemented in 1995. It is also primarily focused on labor practices and the protection within all sectors. So the LRA include the specific provisions to protect the whistleblower who face unfair labor practices or dismissal as a result of their disclosure. So I have three context of this law is that the section 186 2D and 187 1H define unfair labor practices and unfair dismissal related to the whistleblowing. And the second one is the section 191 3 empower employees to refer disputes regarding unfair labor practices to appropriate resolution bodies. And the last one is the act integrates with the PDA to ensure the comprehensive protection for whistleblowers in the workplace. And the enforcement of this law is that it informed by labor codes and dispute the resolution mechanisms like the commission for conciliation, mediation, and arbitration. And the effectiveness of this law is that the LRA is generally effective in providing a framework for addressing the labor dispute and protecting the whistleblowers. However, the Act protection can vary depending on the specific circumstances and the willingness of the employees to comply with the laws. So these two laws provides the detailed overview and insight into the legal protection available to the whistleblowers in South Africa. Now I am going to start the sub video to see major whistleblowing incident in South Africa. It's called the John Doe Commission. So, what is the issue in this incident is that the John Doe Commission, formerly known as the Judicial Commission of the Inquiry into Allegation of State Captured Corruption and fraud in the public sector including organs of state, was significant whistleblowing incident in South Africa, which is established in 2018. It investigated systematic corruption involving high-ranking official, including the former president Jacob Zuma and private entities. The scandal, termed state capture, revealed how private interest has seized control of state institution for financial gain, leading to the widespread corruption and financial mismanaging in various sectors of the government. So, how whistleblowers are treated in this incident is that the whistleblower play a crucial role in bringing the state captures to light. However, many faced severe repercussions for their actions. For example, Mos- the Mosilo Mothepu, a former CEO of Trillions Financial Advisory, so she exposed irregularity in contract between Trillions and state-owned enterprises. So Mothepu faced a significant personal and professional challenges, including threats and ostracism. Second one is Bianca Goodson. So this is another whistleblower from the Trillions. She experienced the several stress and professional setbacks after coming forward. And the last one is Athol Williams, a former brain and company partner who testified about irregular contract with the South Africa Revenue Services. William filed the country due to the fear for his safety. And now I'm going to address the unethical activity in this incident. So the John Doe Commission's finding had led to increase the public awareness and some judicial actions. However, the full implementation of its recommendation and the comprehensive prosecution of the of involved parties remain ongoing process. So the commission recommended reforms to enhance the whistleblowing protection, including creating an independent whistleblowing regulatory authorities, implementing strict timelines for addressing disclosure, establishing legal immunity for whistleblowing, and so that's and despite this recommendation, challenges persist in effectively protecting the whistleblowers and ensuring their safety, as seen in the tragic case of Babita Devukaran, a whistleblower who was murdered. Now I'm going to start the sub video 3C, and in this video I'm going to discuss about the political and business leader from the South Africa. The first one is Nelson Mandela, which is the former president and the anti-apartheid revolutionary. Second is Thabo Mbeki, a former president known for his policy on economic growth and re- African renaissances. And the third one is Julius Malema, leader of the economic freedom fighter. But all of this, I'm going to talk about the serial Ramaphosa. Why I choose the serial Ramaphosa? Because serial Ramaphosa is a key figure in the South Africa politics and business, known for his significant contribution to the country's transition to the democracy and his leadership within the Africa National Congress. His multifaceted career spanning trading, unionism, business, and political provides a comprehensive view of leadership in challenging environment. So I'm going to talk about the characteristic of Cyril Ramaphosa, like a visionary integrity, how he set a good example, clear goals, and encourage others. So Ramaphosa is renowned for his vision of a democratic and the economically stable South Africa. He was instrumental in drafting the country's constitution, advocating for a progressive framework that ensure equal rights for all citizens. And throughout his career, Ramaphosa has maintained a reputation for integrity. Despite the political turbulences around him, his commitment to ethical governance has been a cornerstone of his leadership style. Ramaphosa has consistently set a good example in both his professional and personal life. His ability to navigate the complex transitions ap- apartheid to democracies showcases resiliency and dedication to the public service. How he clear his goal? Ramaphosa's goals have always been clear. So to step Ramaphosa's goals have always been clear: to stabilize and growth South Africa's economy, combat corruption, and foster social unity. His leadership in drafting the national development planning highlights his focus on long term strategic goal. And next one is how he encourages others, known for his ability to motivate and inspires. Ramaphosa played a pivotal role in mobilizing supports during the anti-apartheid movement and later within the business community. His leaderships in the trade union movement also demonstrate his ability to rally people towards common objectives. Now I'm going to address demands, accountability, and responsibility. Ramaphosa emphasized accountability and responsibility within his team. His efforts to combat corruption within the ANC and the government reflection his commitment to the holding individual accountable for their action. Throughout his career, Ramaphosa has not has seed away from the challenging authorities. His early activism against the apartheid regime and the later confrontation within the ANC exhibition his willingness to stand up for his belief. Now I'm going to talk about how he provides ethical guidance to followers. As a leader, Ramaphosa provides the ethical guidance, emphasizing the importance of rule of law and constitutional values. His leadership style is marked by a strong moral compass and dedication to the justice. Ramaphosa also demonstrate a high internal locus of control, believing that he can influence his outcomes through his actions. This trait has been evident in his business venture and political strategies, where he takes proactive steps to achieve his objectives. While Ramaphosa has known has while Ramaphosa has shown pragmatism in his political maneuver, he is not typically viewed as a Machiavellian. His approach is more collaborative and transparent, focusing on building consensus and fostering inclusive governance. I have two examples of his National Union of main work and business acumen. So as the first secretary, as the first Secretary General of NUM, Ramaphosa built it into the largest trade union in South Africa, demonstrating his organizational and leadership skill. The second one is success in business, notably with investment holding companies. Sanduka highlights his strategic thinking and ability to drive economic growth. So, so that's it for those three countries. Now, I'm going to address whistleblowing as a leadership activity. So, whistleblowing is an act that can reflect several key leadership qualities, such as integrity, accountability, and a strong ethical foundation. So, here how whistleblowing aligned with the leadership. So using the example and insight from these three countries, Sri Lanka, Brazil, and South Africa. So the first one is the integrity and ethical guidance. So leaders are often judged by their integrity and ethical standards. Whistleblowing inherently involve commitment to integrity and ethical behavior. So, for example, in South Africa, the Protected Disclosure Act, which is called PDA, is designed to protect the whistleblower who expose the corruption and unethical practice within the both public and private sectors. The effectiveness of such laws in protecting the whistleblowers and reflecting the ethical stance a nation take against corruption. Similarly, in Brazil, the Clean Company Act, which is CCA, encourages individuals to report the corruption and unethical practices in businesses by enabling whistleblowing. Brazil aimed to instill a culture of accountability and transparency, vital traits of ethical leaderships. The second one is the accountability and the responsibility. So the true leaders hold themselves and other accountable. Whistleblowing exemplifies this by exposing the malpractice and ensuring that the organizations and the individuals are held responsible for their actions. For example, in Sri Lanka, the code of criminal procedures and the commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruptions are framework that support the whistleblower and promote the accountability. Also, in South Africa, the PDA empowered the employees to disclose the information about the unlawful and the irregular conduct in their workplace. This aligned with the leadership principles by promoting a culture where accountability is paramount and unethical actions are not tolerated. The third one is vision and clear goal as a leadership activity. So leaders with a strong vision and clear goal often advocate for transparency and honesty with their organization. So whistleblowing can be seen as a extension of that vision, striving for a transparent and a corruption-free environment. So, for example, Brazil's efforts through the Clean Company Act to eradicate corruption reflect a national vision of ethical governance and business practice. Fourth one is the encourage other and setting a good example as a leadership activity. So, effective leaders inspire and encourage others to act ethical and responsibility. Whistleblowing can inspire others within an organization to other to ethical standards and report wrongdoing. So, in South Africa, a prominent leader like Cyril Ramaphosa emphasizing the importance of ethical leaderships and the accountability, setting a precedent for others to follow. Also, in Sri Lanka, leaders who supports and protect the whistleblowers create an environment where ethical behavior is encouraged and supported. So, so setting a good example for others in the organization. And the last one is challenging authority in leadership activity. So, leadership often involve challenge, challenging the status quo and questioning unethical practices. Whistleblowing is a direct manifestation of this trait, as a whistleblower often confront powerful figures and establish norms to expose wrongdoing. So, for example, in South Africa, whistleblowers have a play crucial role in challenging corruptions within major institutions are reflecting leadership quality of challenging authority for the greater good. Now I'm going to talk about the similarity and the differences between the whistleblowing and leadership. So I have three similarities. The first one is ethical foundation, second one is accountability, and third one is the inspiration. So ethical foundation, both leader and whistleblowing are rooted in strong ethical principles. Second is accountability. So both practices emphasizes the importance of the accountability and the responsibility. And third one is the inspiration. So leaders and the whistleblowers can inspire others to act ethically and responsibly. And I have two differences between those whistleblowing and leadership. First is risk. Whistleblowing often involve significant personal risk, whereas leadership may not always entail such immediate dangers. And second one is recognition. So leader are usually recognized and celebrated for their roles, whereas whistleblowers might face ostracism and retaliation before gaining the recognition. So, in conclusion, I can say that whistleblowing can be viewed as a profound act of leadership. It embodies many of the qualities that define strong leaders, which is integrity, accountability, vision, and the courage to challenge authorities. By supporting whistleblowers through robust legal frameworks, countries like Sri Lanka, Brazil, and South Africa not only afford ethical standards but also promote a culture of responsible and transparent governance. So, this alignment between whistleblowing and the leaderships undergoes the critical role both playing in fostering ethical practices and accountability within the society. So that's it, and I'm going to write this from where I take this all of this contest. So I'm going to write those references in one document and submit it with this video. Thank you.